What's up, guys? Scott from Overland. Today I'm with Chris and Paul from Raptors Garage, and we're going to look at the rigs. First up is Chris's. Chris, thanks so much for being on. Paul, comfortable at home?
I'm very comfortable,
okay,
thanks.
cool.
We've got beer
Yeah,
and sorted.
it's quite the expensive seat, but well worth it. So anyway, Chris, I'll turn it over straight to you. What do you got? What did you start with? Where we at?
This basically was a bog standard L200 2003. It was the Warrior version. So I didn't buy it to do Overland, and then I met Paul, and it went on from there. But the engine blew up in the first 10 days I had it, and I had lots of issues with the engine and the garage fixing it. So I always had this kind of ongoing problem with the engine. But once I met Paul and he started talking about overlanding, I got into the ideas of like beef the truck up a bit. So the first thing we did was a 2-inch body lift. Then we did a 2-inch suspension lift, so we wound the torsion bars up at the front, put extended shackles on at the back, and then we basically decided to paint it, and we painted it in the Raptor paint. Hence the reason for Paul's nickname of Raptor, and why we call it Raptor's Garage, because when I first got to know him, he started talking about he was going to paint his whole car, this Land Rover, in this paint. There's like a paint for toughening up stuff, and it was really basically indestructible, and it was called Raptor paint, and we were like, oh, cool name. So we nicknamed him Raptor. Now since then, we've taken it to the Pyrenees. I've done stuff on the inside. I've taken a lot of the back seats out for more storage space. If you watch our videos, when we went to the Pyrenees, we had a big rack on the back to take the roof rack. We had storage in the original tub. Did the Pyrenees trip and sort of came back from that thinking, you know what, there's a few things that weren't working for us. One of which was the engine, with the continuous problem with the oil leaking from the original problems. And I wasn't overly happy with how all the storage works. So at the moment we're busy filming all some new videos of getting rid of the tub altogether. We're going to tray back it, we're going to build a purpose-built aluminium canopy on the back, get all the storage sorted out properly, and last week we basically pulled the engine out, stripped it right down to its you know, the very bare basics, and put it back together properly, and touch wood, so far it's not leaked any oil.
You guys, I'll put a link for that video too. It was ridiculous how much that when they took it out that they found wasn't there.
Yeah.
So the fact that it was running was amazing.
It was, yeah, and this is 2 garages. I had it rebuilt twice because the second garage was shocked at the bad job the first garage had done. And then even that, you know, Paul's pulling it apart going, well, there's bolts missing. None of these gaskets have been replaced. This hasn't been done. That is, this, you know, reconditioned bottom end looks like it's just come from a scrapyard. And I think sometimes the purpose of the videos that we've done, I don't understand all this stuff. I'm learning it from Paul. Paul's got 25, 30 years of experience in this. And having a better understanding of everything now, I've learned more in this last week on that engine, that if I ever did go to a garage now and they start to feed me something, I've got a better understanding of what they're telling me. And which is what I sort of said to people in these videos of certainly of the engine, you know, jump on the forums, ask questions, so that if you do go to a garage and they start telling you something's wrong and what it's going to cost to fix, you've got a better idea of, you know,
Just a bit of knowledge can be dangerous for them.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad way to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. And you know, it looks great. I've seen, like I said, I've watched loads of videos and the Pyrenees videos, like some of the struggles you went through with overheating and all that stuff, and it sounds like, touch wood, you're sorted on that.
Yeah.
But what I'm interested in is someone that's about to do the back of my Jeep and all the stuff like the fridge and how I'm going to equate everything in. I want to see what we got going on back here.
Yeah,
so let's look at that.
What we've done. Yeah, so we've basically re-nicknamed this as the Bits Are Missing L200 because obviously this originally 3 weeks ago was a pretty much kind of bog standard here. We had the normal tub on the rear, full length chassis, and what we've done is took the tub off altogether. We've actually chopped the chassis legs down back to where the shackles are mounted, beefed it up to make it stronger. The cross piece that we put in, this piece of 80mm box section, we've actually turned into a air tank for a compressor, so we can run air tools or do the tyres off that. We mounted this spare wheel on the back because originally on the previous incarnation when it had a tub, we built a kind of cage system that sat on the top and the spare wheel was up there, which was great and it looked great. I just never fancied trying to change that spare wheel by the side of the motorway because it was a huge tyre to get off at a very high point. And, you know, got 2 obviously 20-litre jerry cans from T-Max on the back now, and the plan now is we're going to build an aluminium canopy. It's going to sit on the back of this, so we're going to put some sort of aluminium sheet on here. We've got a 40-litre or 45-litre water tank here, which will put some sort of access panel on so we can get to it if we ever get an issue with it. That's all filled up from a water point here. So inside this canopy we'll have running water, we'll have a separate fuse board for power for lights and everything else, the compressor to run the air tank down there, and it will probably give it the option that we can actually lift it off, so I can sort of run it on a sort of day-to-day basis, just as it is, like this. Yeah, and then the roof tent is going to go this time actually sort of more in the middle of the vehicle on the roof. We're building a roof rack at the moment. Because one of the problems with the L200s is it's not like a Discovery or a Jeep that loads of people do loads of things with it. Exactly. You know, I have to come to Paul and he helps me fabric cobble all sorts of bits, bits and pieces together. So pretty much, all of this has been basically put together by us in the garage in the last few weeks. And this is kind of the first real preview anyone's going to get of it. We've got all the videos coming out in sort of April showing people step by step what we did.
Yeah, when I came here, it was like the first place I went. I was like straight to the back and say, all right, what's going on? Because all the hints and stuff that's coming out on Instagram, I'm like, all right, what are they doing? Yeah. And then all of a sudden, like, all right, the bed's going. Okay. And then now it's getting interesting. What are we going to do? Yeah. And so I've been watching all this stuff unfold, and it's just great. And that's a great thing about the channel and Instagram and all that stuff, that you can kind of follow along.
But that's it. But the reason for this is, and I think we kind of made the mistake that a lot of people do when they first go overlanding, is they want to make sure that everything they could possibly need. And to be honest, I was quite excited about how big and heavy the truck was getting. It was like a bit of a macho, look at all this stuff my truck's got. But it's just still the bog standard engine.
Exactly.
And I struggled with the overheating. I struggled, not so much off-road, it's more on-road, going up slow, windy, tarmac roads. So this year's project for both of us was just to get rid of as much unnecessary stuff as we needed, which we could do because we've kind of had that Pyrenees trip to go back and say, right, we didn't need that, we never used that. We didn't need that, let's get rid of it, chop off as much excess stuff as we can and make the vehicle a lot lighter, more streamlined, with just the essentials that we're going to need to do what we want to do. One of my biggest bugbears about having the tub is I had 4 wolf boxes in that tub, and I thought it all out. I thought, what am I going to be using every day? What should I pack in this? What should I pack at the back? And no matter how I packed it, at some point I'd have all 4 wolf boxes out, all 4 of them open, looking for that tomato sauce or whatever, because it was like, why was that not in that box here? And it just grated me over time. So this time I can actually take some time once this canopy's built in thinking what I want, where the fridge is going to go, where the running water is going to go, if I'm going to draw a system in there, stuff stacked here, stuff that I don't need over there, and really kind of like sort of lay it out and plan it out. So it's a lot more convenient to use.
I think that's the best way. All right, so there you go. Make sure you guys click like and subscribe on Raptors Garage. Search them on YouTube. Obviously there'll be links below and up here or here. You'll see it. But anyway, Chris, thank you so much. I appreciate it, mate. And next up, we're going to look at Paul's rig too. So stay tuned. Talking to Paul about this earlier, and he said you always want to make sure that you put the water refill above waist level, and if you can figure out why, to make sure to know that foreign objects get in there.
Exactly. He said to me when I was talking about where to put it, he said, no, it's always going to be a certain height. He said, because you don't want anyone drunk one night deciding it's funny to pollute it in some way.
In your toothbrush water.